Hey everybody, it's me, Rouget, and welcome to my first ever Reddit reading on the channel. I'm recording this the same night as last night's video. It is 11:01 p.m. February 19th, 2020. Let's get into some r/insane parents. My mom thinks I'm on drugs because I left the toilet seat up and got a C in one class. A text from mom. Every time I see this, alright, every time I see this is an hour you can't use the computer that day. I'm not telling you again. It's very inconsiderate and keeps happening. I'm thinking about having you drug tested, by the way. The grade in this, get it together, and don't tell me you are sorry. Now, looking at this post, I have a mom that personally gets upset when I leave the toilet seat up. I'm pretty sure I can't, confirm this, but most women get upset when you leave the toilet seat up. Because I have been praised by people, for leaving the toilet seat down for some reason. I don't seem to understand why people just can't look before they sit down, but that's just my personal opinion. Let's look at a few comments. I am wondering why leaving the toilet seat up is so horrible and inconsiderate to a woman. I am a woman, and I don't see why someone would get mad if it is up. As long as it is clean, right? I mean, women use the other part and can accidentally make a mess. So what's the big deal? Either way, you are supposed to have both of them down when you flush the toilet, so the stuff doesn't get into the air. So shouldn't someone get upset that all of it isn't down? Also, a lot of people don't flush with the lids down, men and women. I can agree with the final part. People don't flush with the top lid down. I didn't know you were supposed to shut both lids on the toilet. Leave a comment if you knew you were supposed to do that. We're going on to another one. Hopefully I can post this here, but this happened at my school in the area a while back. Okay. On September 2nd, 2008, a shy blonde transfer student strolled into redacted high school and redacted. The sophomore wore a pink hoodie and carried a new school bag decorated with hearts, eager to start the new term. But just 16 days later, she was standing in court wearing an orange prison jumpsuit and shackles, charged with identity theft. The prosecutors revealed that Wendy Brown was not really 15, but a 33-year-old mother of two who had stolen her teenage daughter's identity and attempted to relive her own high school days. In her weeks as a student, Brown had taken classes with students half her age. She had tried out for the blank high school cheerleading squad and even attended a pool party thrown by the cheer coach. Now, does this seem logical? It does say news, and it does look like a legitimate article. I will say this is real. Do I have any personal opinion on this? Don't live through your kids, and don't if you really want to relive something that happened like that's over 15, over 18 years ago. Go. You have a job, most likely. And if you don't have a job, you should probably get one. How they had the opportunity to go to school for a little over 2 weeks is unbeknownst to me. Certainly someone would have recognized, hey, this person doesn't seem to be 15. Let's find a comment. Oh, I remember this story. She should have just gone to college. Much more stressful and fun. I have yet to go to college, but I know people that have, and they would most likely agree to that. Oh, and by the way, it's illegal, as you could probably tell by seeing why she's in jail. Just so you know. So if there are any 33-year-olds watching this, with children in high school, don't steal your children's identity and go to their high school. Alrighty, on to the next post. One of the worst things I've read this morning. Okay. This looked like it was posted on Twitter. Obviously, it was from an Android because all these crazy people seem to have Androids. A woman I went to high school with and her husband decided to have an open marriage, but it still ended because they're both having children with their lovers and each of them is fighting to not have custody of their 10-year-old child. This is the only reason I still have Instagram. This is some real 1970s boomer shit. You're damn right, this is some 1970s boomer shit. An open marriage, I can understand maybe, just maybe, an open relationship. I don't really like them that much, because I feel if you're going to date someone, you might as well stay faithful. But on the other hand, I find an open marriage completely illogical, and I don't understand the point of it. However, you do you, I guess. I don't suggest you do that. And towards the end, they say they're fighting to not have custody of their 10-year-old child. Yeah, I so they have an open marriage. They already have a child. They have an open marriage. And then they're like, hey, guess what? And the other one's like, what? And then the one's like, I think we should split up. And then the other one's like, okay. So that, you kind of just, they kind of just went with it. Why get married if you're going to have an open marriage? To where, legally you guys are together and you're married, but you can still see other people. But you get a divorce, and that's a lot of money down the drain. Because divorces aren't cheap, and I know for a damn fact weddings aren't cheap. And then, this is the only reason I still have Instagram. I have Instagram to talk to people. But, I sure as hell do wish this kind of stuff happened in my Instagram feed. That would be funny as hell. Damn, that breaks my heart. Innocent kid caught in the middle of some grade A bullshit. How the hell can you fight for no custody? You spent all the kid's life supposedly loving them, and now they want to get rid of the kid. I flabbergasted. Nice grammar there, buddy. I tried to make that a little better for the people listening to this. Yeah, honestly. I agree with this comment right here. And happy cake day, by the way. I see that cake. Happy cake day. Yeah, but legitimately though, I don't seem to understand why they have a kid and then they fight for no custody. I'm gonna have to Google if you can do that. You probably can, but how do you do that? Both of them don't want the kid. So why have one to begin with? I realize they're married, but they're in an open marriage. So like, I just personally don't understand it. This whole situation doesn't make sense to me. Besides the boomer shit part, that part makes perfect sense. But besides that, the situation, I don't understand it. Alright, on to the next post. This has a woohoo tag. What that means, I don't know. I haven't been on Reddit long enough, apparently. If any mom sends her kid to my pool, convinced, covered in avocado oil, I'm calling Child Protective Services. Okay, so this is a Facebook post. Oh my god. I figured I would have to read a Facebook post eventually, but not my third post in, guys. Come on. Chlorine is not our friend. We filter it out of our drinking water and bathe in water. We also limit swimming in it. However, sometimes winter swimming with friends is just fun. So we indulge. So, when we are about to take a dip, we protect and prepare our bodies as best we can. Today, and then there's a little girl emoji. You know, you can tell it's Facebook, and you can tell it's a fucking boomer when they use emojis. You know, I don't care if it's necessarily on Facebook, but when it's on Facebook with emojis, and literally like, you know, here's a paragraph. Chlorine is not our friend. You don't have to enter that twice. You don't have to double space the damn thing. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares, besides me, because it bugs me. Anyways, today little Mrs. went swimming with her friends. She's rubbed down in avocado oil to create a barrier. Really. She's downed a ton of, we're vitamin C. She rubbed, oh my god. She rubbed essential oils on her big toes. What? We sprayed her braided hair and scalp with some Lavaderm spray. She took a couple drops of scared frankincense. Now, I'm not old enough to understand what any of these are, but as soon as I heard and saw these words, essential oil, that got me. Bro, you know, maybe avocado oil actually, that helps prevent the autism that vaccines give you. You know? She's on to something, ladies and gentlemen. She is on to something. Essential oils, you know, you need that. You need a lot of vitamin C. You need whatever the rest of that is. But most importantly, the one above all else, rub your ass down with some avocado oil to create a barrier from the sun and the chlorine. You know, do we filter chlorine out of our drinking water? Yes, we do. But there's still a little bit there in the shower and everything. We don't filter it all out. It is there to get rid of bacteria, which is quite obvious, which is why it's used in pools. But there's a difference. There is a major difference between bad chlorine and not so bad chlorine. Bad chlorine is chlorine gas, which is poisonous and can kill you. The chlorine we use in pools and in drinking water is completely different. It's called chlorine, yes, but it has a different chemical compound, which allows it to not be super duper, uber duper harmful to the skin. So, we're going to continue. I still have 2 paragraphs to read. I think the coolest thing is she knows why. She understands why swimming in chlorine isn't good and what it does to the body. She also knows how we can up our frequencies and protect our gut. What do you mean by protect our gut? And why the green heart? Is that supposed to symbolize I'm killing my children because I don't vaccinate them and I rub them down with avocado oil to protect them from the dangers of chlorine in swimming pools? You know, If you have such a problem with chlorine in swimming pools, maybe we should drill a hole in a lake and have her swim there in the winter. Or maybe you can just calm your 375-pound titties, because we know damn well you live off welfare. We know damn well you work for a quote-unquote business and you sell your fucking essential oils. Okay? So listen here, Karen, Jessica, Lauren. I don't fucking know. I don't care personally what your name is. You're literally like, I'm pretty sure sunscreen isn't good to go in a pool. To be completely honest with you, I think what sunscreen does is it creates a layer of oil on top of a pool, and it can screw up the filter system. So why would you put avocado oil on somebody? You know what? That's whatever. I still have another paragraph to read. I'm rambling. After her dip is over, not was, we will neutralize the chlorine and spray vitamin C on her body. She'll get another internal dose of vitamin C. Oh my god. Now, what do you mean? Who voted not insane? Whoever voted not insane has fucking brain issues. Because this is one of the most normal insane people I've seen. I can understand people that are like, you shouldn't take too long of showers because the chlorine's in a vapor form and it can be dangerous because you're inhaling it. Yes, I can understand that. But when it's like, hey, let's go to the, I'll use the YMCA as an example because I know those are scattered all throughout the United States. Hey, let's go to the Y, And people are like, yeah. And then, you got little Jenny in the back going, I gotta take a bunch of vitamin C. I gotta rub my body and my ass and my legs down with avocado oil. I gotta cover something. I gotta cover my big toe with something. I gotta get my hair sprayed down. I gotta take a couple drops of this frankincense, whatever the hell it is. Okay? Honestly, sometimes I wish people just didn't exist. And not even just dumb people. Sometimes just humanity in general. Because I think if humanity in general disappeared, there wouldn't be more of these. Because yes, we could get rid of the ones that we have right now. But eventually, it'll happen again. And if we just get rid of humanity as a whole, it's never going to happen. Because humans won't form again. Okay? Until we do. And then the sun blows up and recreates everything. But until then, can we just please get rid of humanity? Let's read a comment. I seriously want someone to write a book on the technique used by these people. I feel like it would be a read. Like, whatever that is, text from the 13th century. I agree. Can we get like a whole anti-vax crew of people? And can I invite them into a room? Can I write notes on these people? Because God, I really, really want to know what's wrong with them. Told my mom I was going, I don't know, a week, day, hour, and second before I left. Night that day, received this message. Going Manchester. Maybe English isn't their first, Mom, maybe English isn't their first language, but going to Manchester. Where are you? In Manchester. I already told you. You forgot to tell me you wasn't coming back. Where are you? Where are you staying? Hello? If you don't tell me, I'm going to report you missing to the police. Facepalm. Fine. Have it your way. This is B. What? This is B. What happens when there's no communication? You can't answer your phone. Tell me where you are. Just wait. I'm calling the police. They will locate you and also bring you home. Now, I've never seen a mom type like this in my life. And I've seen moms type. And I've read conversations between mothers. And if your mom types like this, tell her to type like a real person and not like a 13-year-old female, because she is your mother. We don't need people like your mom, like not to be rude. We don't need them going like, fine, HAV for have, and then it, and then your is you are. This be won't. What is that even supposed to mean? What's be won't mean? B space WOT. But what? How am I even supposed to say that? This was cancer to read. I feel like I lost 30 of my brain cells. And I don't have that many to begin with. So, the fact that they don't know how to type. It's going on 11:30 in the morning. And I'm kind of tired as hell. This isn't necessarily the great combination that I want. And I feel like my IQ just dropped 15 points. And I don't even know how high it was to begin with. Let's read a comment. Where are you? In Manchester. Fine, you don't want to tell me? I'm calling the police. Yep, that's about it. So I read that you're 19, so literally the police cannot locate you and bring you home because you're an adult. Out adulting. Boom, amen, right there. How they learned they were 19? I don't know, but this is going to be the last post for today's video. She went on to say she's considering calling an attorney. God, please don't let this be about an anti-vax parent saying, I'm gonna get an attorney if you take my kid, because vaccination is your choice. If I read anything about somebody being anti-vax, I legitimately might lose it. Really upset about, I see, pushing their gender ideas. I sent my grandson home crying. It's one thing to ask a child if they want to be in a sport, but it's another to tell your child they have to take a form home to sign up for cheerleading when it's a male first grader. He cried and was very upset. He must have said, I'm not a girl 20 times last night. Stop pushing gender issues on our children. I call this child abuse. Now, and then there's also in the comments, I don't know if this is redacted like the poster or if this is redacted a commenter. So somebody says, oh, it's not the poster. It is a redacted commenter. So, in a nutshell, you're mad that the school sent home a form for your grandson to participate in cheerleading, which you think will somehow turn him gay. If you asked me, redacted, you're the one pushing your gender ideas onto your grandson and other people, not the school. Now, personally, this is my question. Did they just hand out them to everybody? Because if they handed them out to everybody, then I don't see a problem in this. But if they were like, here's all the girls and then here's your grandson, then I would have a problem with it. He's saying, I'm not a girl 20 times at night. They're not necessarily pushing their gender issues onto other people's children, in my opinion. What they are doing is they are saying, hey, anybody's allowed to sign up for cheerleading. Look at a college football game, for God's sake. If you look at college football, there are male, yes, I said it, male cheerleaders. It's kind of funny. But they need somebody to hold the girls up and throw them higher in the air. Because sometimes when you get to like a certain level, everybody starts to gain a little more weight, and the men start to build a lot more muscle in the arms and everything. Don't quote me, but this is how I think. And they gotta, chuck each other in the air. Now I know some high schools can do it with all girls, and great for you. Honestly, I can't lift somebody like 150 pounds, or like let's say one of those really small girls that are like 75 to 100 pounds. I can't lift any of them in the air. So fucking hell yeah to you, man. I wish I was that strong. But like, they have to give them to everybody now because, whether you're gay or straight at this point in life, he's in first grade, doesn't matter. Everybody is gonna get him. Let the kindergartners, or you know what? No, not the kindergartners. Anybody that can participate in something like that's gonna get them. Until you get to an age to where you can choose what you want to do. And like for me for instance, sometimes kids get stuff pushed on them. Like, let's say football. I had football pushed on me at first, and then I started to enjoy it. Golf, I had golf pushed on me, and then I started to enjoy it. Stuff like that. But sometimes, you just gotta think, hey, there are guys that do this, and there are straight guys that do this. They're not all gay. That's just like me saying, if a girl plays baseball or softball, if a girl plays softball, that means she's a lesbian, because softball is a variant of baseball, and baseball is a male-dominated sport. Cheerleading might be female-dominated. However, in some circumstances, men can play super important roles in cheerleading. The pyramid thing, they can have girls at the bottom or they can have guys at the bottom. It doesn't really matter in the whole scheme of things, but it's just an example. In college football, I watch that a bit. The guys are usually throwing the girls in the air and catching them, And that's technically a cheerleader because they're throwing the cheerleader and catching them and doing the acrobatics with them and everything. If saying this is like saying Soulja Boy's gay because he dances, or the dude that made the Watch Me Whip song is gay because he dances. Because dancing can be a form of femininity. I don't know if I said that right. Because ballet, is dance majorly female dominated or majorly male dominated? Think of that. And then think of the variants of dance there are. There is hip hop dancing, which is both male and female, but when I was in it, it was mainly men, right? It doesn't matter what your gender is. You can do anything as either or more genders. That's my opinion. Don't have a riot in the comments. Let's find a comment of this, actually. It's a permission slip. You just don't sign it. And there's plenty of boys and men in cheerleading. That's what I just said. Preach, sister. But she has to call an attorney. He's gay now. Hey, man, if in a area that has gay illegal, I can sue a phone company for them making me gay. You're allowed to do that, and you can win pretty easily. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, that's going to be the end of the video. I don't want to get into more controversial topics, so we're going to end it here. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and have a good one.